Young, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Now, you have been chosen to carry the flame on the last day of the torch relay for the Harbin Asian Winter Games. Tell us about this honor and tell us about what sort of an experience that you're expecting.
Yes, the last couple of days we have been doing the rehearsal for the torch relay. It's always been a great honor to have this kind of opportunity, because in the big events, torch relay is something really lighting up the sports, not only sports, but also the sports spirit, to let more people understand why we are doing the games like that. Of course, we're doing the game for the talent athletes, but at the same time, carry the torch, pass on the torch is something we hope people can feel that sports spirit is not only for athletes, but also for everybody. So it's always a good time to do such thing and to have the honor to do this. Yeah.
Now, earlier we were talking about your long career. I mean, from your junior days to your time as senior team competing at the Olympics and so on, you have attended so many high-level competitions. What do you think about the organizing committee's preparations here in Harbin? What do you think of the venues?
It's my hometown, part of my hometown. I grew up here. When I was in the junior team. So the venues and the street, everything is so familiar for me. But at the same time, the city has been growing so much last decades. So you also feel some excitement for the growing. And same time with same with the sports. My time, the sports, winter sports, even in Heilongjiang province, it's not as much as popular as now. So that's what I have seen. The sports has been growing, and the people, also the city. I remember I participated in '96 Winter Asian Games. I remember at that time I didn't feel the game such welcome or such big influence to the society. But nowadays you can see this. It's so popular. People are talking about Asian Games, and there's many things not related with the sports, but not only sports. For example, you can see the uniform, you can see the souvenirs, and the people are talking about it, the medias. It's very different than the 30 years ago. So yeah, very exciting.
Well, you mentioned right there the 1996 Harbin Asian Winter Games, the first time it was held in this city, where of course you won 2 gold medals, your first 2 Asian Winter Games medals, and that really helped form a catalyst. It accelerated your career perhaps, because in 1997 you won your first World Championship golds, and then of course your historic golds, the first for China at the Winter Olympics, Salt Lake City 2002. Can you recall winning those golds here in Harbin, what it was like, and do you think it did have perhaps an effect on your career?
Yes, '96 Asian Games was my first events, like big events. It's not really only one competition. So I remember before '96, actually the long distance always won by Korean team. For Chinese team, we're good at the 500 meters, but not the other events. But for me, I kind of good at with the long distance. So people didn't really, even my team, my coach didn't expect I can win like 1,500 meters, competing with 4 Korean excellent athletes, because the 4 of them are all participated the pre-Olympics, so they're Olympic champion. But for me, it's I always want to try to win. I remember before the Asian Games, we had Asian kind of championships, like small events. I got the 3rd place, already good. So my coach, everybody was happy for me. But for me, it was not something I feel like I want more. I remember a couple of months before the Asian Games, I was thinking about how can I beat those strong girls, strong team. And one day, suddenly, I realized the 4 of them always there. So how can I use my best, my talents, my best to handle these events, not handling by them, but handled by myself. So I got some strategy and I tried, then I won the games. That's where I start the world level. So as you said, I then later on won the 97, the World Championships. That was also history for China for short track. First, the overall champion for championships. And later on, of course, that's where I started my career in a very high level position in the ranking. So it's 96 Asian Games was really a big step for me. Yeah, to get confidence, be comfortable. Yeah.
Can you talk a bit more about that, just how important the Asian Winter Games are, particularly for athletes from countries that don't specialize in winter sports, in giving them a platform to compete with some of the world's best, the experience they gain from that?
Actually, even for China, we are not big winter sports nation until the Beijing Winter Olympics a couple of years ago. So, so the Asian Games really provide the opportunity for all Asia. Asia, we have a big part of Asia. It's not much winter, not even snow, not even ice. But I remember in '96, so we have a couple countries. I think for short track, we only have 4 or 5 countries. And these games, you can see the games growing much bigger. On the way from Shanghai on the way to here, I was flying with, I think from Indonesia team. I was looking at them. It's really, I feel, oh, it's people from summertime. But then I was worried because I'm worried I don't know if they have enough clothes. They can handle this cold. But you can see, really see the winter sports is growing in Asia. I think it's not only Beijing Winter Olympics, but also we have the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. 2 winter games in Asia definitely improve the popularity of winter sports in Asia.
You have done so much to help winter sports grow, from your ice rink in Shanghai to you're a founding member of the Chinese Athlete Education Foundation. Can you talk a little bit about this and what you've done to just help it grow in China and in all of Asia?
Last time I had a meeting in Saudi, and I remember the vice minister was telling me about they are coming to Asian Games. So I was surprised, and they are going to host the Asian Winter Games as well. Yes, yes. So I was so surprised. Of course, as a winter athlete, I'm so happy to see it. That means this winter sport has a big potential in Asia, and once the sport is growing, it's not only good for the elite athletes. It's always good to see more countries, more people to participate in the sports. So it's very exciting, yeah.
Are there any short track speed skaters you've got your eye on here in Harbin? You mentioned the 2 from your own club, but who should we watch out for?
Young athlete called Sun Long, who is actually a big surprise because he really made himself to have this opportunity. And he won the world champion last year in the World Championships, and very much looking forward for the short track. Of course, girls, and we have the athlete who is even compete a little bit with me, the Fan Kexin, who is a young athlete but older in the current team. Very nice girl, and I'm very much looking for the short track events.